Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newest episode of Mistwalkers, Spectrum of Eternity. I am your very humble DM, Lily Faywood, and I'm excited to be here, excited to be back, excited to be queer, as it always goes. I think we can go ahead and just hop on over into introductions. So, Yulia, if you wouldn't mind kicking us off.
Oh yeah, of course! Hello everyone, I'm Yulia! I also go by RoyalKnightVT on various socials. I stream sometimes, a variety mostly based around medieval and fantasy things like Final Fantasy and Skyrim. But most importantly, I love playing Dungeons & Dragons with these amazing folks here. So excited to be back with my wonderfully, totally Christian values cleric Kloven.
100%, of course.
No sexy nuns here.
No sexy
Not
nuns
at
here.
all.
That didn't happen. You go to the table incident.
Yes, I did.
Oh!
Smile.
Smile. Anyways, thank you, Yulia. Next up, we have Meris.
Hello, everyone. I am MerisAurum. I am a celestial dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling ASMR streams, talking about all things. It's just a great time. I also run my own D&D campaign called The Trial of Hearts, which is an ode to all things romantic fantasy. So if you like drama, shenanigans, and intrigue, definitely check that out on my channel as well. We play every other Wednesday. But while I am here and queer with this particular entourage, I play His Royal Highness, the Sewer King.
Hell yeah. And next up, I'm still blanking on who goes first between the two of you.
It's okay, take your time.
I'm going to just say it's Sif. Please go ahead, Sif.
Oh, it's me, Sif_VTuber. Hi, I'm a living suit of armor. I do art, I play games. I am currently obsessed with Monster Hunter and serving Hunt in it. I also run the fucking Curse of Strahd campaign in our group, so if you want to see more queer trauma, it's over there. But yeah, it's good to be back. I'm playing as Tate. Just regular old farm man. Just farm dude. Nothing else here. I love you guys.
Thank you, Sif. And finally, last but not least, Esther, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Master Varatolis. I'm an inspiring voice actor and tabletop author. You can find me at ArchmagesTower here on Twitch and Blue Sky. And in this campaign, I am playing Thaddeus, the artificer with a gun, a dream, and an urge to protect the people he loves.
Oh.
Hell yeah. And I guess I didn't fully intro myself, but you know, most of what I do you're seeing right here in this lovely stream. Not stream, this is a recording. But I also draw a lot of things. Aspiring artist, you know how it goes. There will be one piece from me for this session. Much lower effort than previous times, but you know, just a cute little something. One piece, thank you, Sid.
It's real.
It's real!
But anyways, I suppose we can go ahead and dive right into the recap. It's funny because, you know, last session was a combat session primarily. But so there's not too terribly much to recap before we hop right into the session proper. But just kind of kick things off, our lovely players had gathered for celebrating the anniversary festival in their hometown of the Stocks. And while there, their lovely time was interrupted by proclaiming themselves to be an entity, or a part of an entity known as the Night Owls. It then proceeded to destroy the great tree that is at the center of the Stocks and also holding the mist at bay. And everybody took up battle positions because, hey, that's our tree, don't touch our tree. After a long amount of fighting, a lot of the town was damaged due to falling debris. People were grabbed, people were hurt, but the creature, which revealed itself to be of illicit origins, even though the players don't know what that means, proceeded to make its way inside of the tree to seemingly go for something to try and turn the tides, but was greeted by a gigantic, weird-looking praying mantis wooden plant tree thing named Anti. While in there, Sewer King, who was latched onto the creature as it flew there, proceeded to absolutely eviscerate it alien style, burrowing through its body and devouring just about everything it had. Ended up finishing it off, and it dropped a eye. Upon seeing this, Anti immediately grabbed it and proceeded to store it inside of the tree. As Anti proceeded to head out of the tree to try and introduce themselves and talk about what's going on to the rest of the players, they basically asked if anybody was capable of repairing the tree, of which the party volunteered, but were ultimately turned down for not being powerful enough to do so. Mai, however, the sister of Kloven, was volunteered herself and proceeded to shapeshift into a draconic form that was unbeknownst to the party beforehand, reversing time and repairing the tree back to its original state, but ultimately falling into a deep slumber herself. After this, a figure that had been monitoring the whole situation from the sky came down to basically taunt the players and say that they had a good time watching everybody struggle, and ultimately said that this battle and what came from it was a gift from them. Of course, the party was not agreeing of this gift-like nature, but, you know, that's just as simple as it goes. But they introduced themselves as Thalafir, and they also said that they were a member of the Night Owls, but something seemed different about them, and after a bunch of arguing about the values of life, he proceeded to give them the hint of the next, or if they want answers, they should head to a place due south named, oh god, I need to make sure I'm saying this right, Karanin. And with that, he flew away, leaving the party to sort of survey the damage that was done. Sewer King was soft introduced to at least Adamar, and proceeded to kind of run away from there as soon as he could. But we ended session with the party kind of beginning to survey the damage dealt to the rest of the town, picking up the bodies, trying to return to some semblance of a status quo. With that, Anti announced that they would be leaving in approximately a week in order to pursue their own quest to restore the network of trees. And with that, you all got your week, and we're about to lay that out. Wait 1 second, I'm gonna type to you guys. Yeah, I love you guys for making up silly names for characters that make it hard for me to remember their actual names.
Yeah, he's Devil Guy.
He's Devil Guy.
Hi, baby, Devil Guy.
Devil Man.
Devil Man.
Listen, I've been referring to this NPC as Devil Guy since before Lily had a name for him. Like, he's just Devil Guy in my brain.
Incredible.
He's been He's been Devil Guy for longer than he's been Thalafir for our general colloquial, at least in our
I'm happy
house.
for him coming out.
Yeah, wait, Devil Guy's the dead name. You can't call him Devil Guy.
Oh no, I can't dead name him.
All right, everyone. So let's go ahead and kick us off with some of the lovely RP that we are going to be going through today. I believe the first item on our itinerary is actually going to be Thaddeus and SK. So, whoever wants to start, I will let you folks take it away.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Well, you go first. You.
I was just gonna say, after the events that occurred, Sewer King does what Sewer King does best, and that is retreat when immediately feeling uncomfortable. So I think he's going to find the quickest opportunity to slink back to his familiar abode in Thaddeus's basement and kind of wait for things to like calm down a little bit, however long that is. But is, as ever, always keeping a door open for Thaddeus if he ever wants to come down and chit-chat.
And come down and chit-chat he does. Thaddeus doesn't even knock this time. He slips down into the basement looking, frankly, exhausted, and he throws his gun haphazardly onto the bed before just slinking down against the wall.
Yes. Are you all right?
I think all right is the last word from my mind right now.
I understand. I was deeply troubled that you might be in some kind of danger.
I'm not the one in danger. I'm fine now. I don't know if I have the words for this. I didn't think we'd see that sort of thing in town. I thought we were doing good.
We were, and we are. Things are going to be okay.
You know, you say that, but what proof do we have at this point? I don't know what we should be doing here. Even if it's insane, I think I want to pack up and find out what the hell is due south of here.
You would leave?
Not alone. That's stupid. But if there's a chance we can push this back, if there's a chance people can at least live out the rest of what they have here happy.
That is... You don't need to leave to do that. I mean, what you're doing here is already making people happy and comfortable, and there's no need to go on any sort of foolish, dangerous expedition.
You know, the weird thing is, I'm pretty sure Jillian would have told me the same thing. But I can't shake it. I can't shake feeling like there's something I can do. That there's something maybe we can do. Fix this. I wasn't strong enough to save everyone back there. And if I can stop it, something like that, from coming again, maybe I will be. Maybe I can cut this out at the source.
My friend, you are entirely too hard on yourself. You fought admirably. Admirably. And I'm sure many others would have died had you not stood your ground.
Maybe you're right, but I could say the same thing about you. I could have sworn that when things started going south, you would have turned tail and shacked up downstairs again until it blew over. I didn't think you'd risk your hide for the people up topside.
I didn't. But I knew you needed me, Thaddeus. So I helped.
You did that for me? Really?
Of course. You've given me a life here, Thaddeus. It would be remiss of me to not repay it.
Well, I'm not asking you to die on my count.
Trust me. Whenever I die, it shall be in a dramatic blaze of glory, not at the hands of some tentacled beast like that.
Well, given how theatrical everything you've done has been, that might be more of a premonition than a proclamation. But
all that being said, I don't go looking for trouble, Thaddeus, and I would strongly advise the same for you.
SK,
You of all people know what's out there.
I know. Trust me, I know. But I'm not looking for trouble. SK, I want to leave to find a solution. There has to be a way to fix this.
Even if there is, why should it fall to you to figure it out? Why can't you just stay?
To be honest, I feel like it boils down to the fact that up until the day she went missing, Jillian never stopped going out there. She never stopped looking for a solution of her own. And a few times she brought back things. She brought back blueprints, resources, things that made me think it was possible. And now we have proof that there is something else out there. There's at least other settlements. There's other, maybe ruins that we can derive something from. And I couldn't just sit back here and reinvent the wheel in my bar and dig up old recipes until the day I grow gray without that eating at me. I need to know what's out there. I need to know if it can save. Maybe not just the people here, but everyone still struggling to keep afloat in this whole mess.
My friend, you know what they say about heroes, right? They often die very tragically. And I would hate to see that fate for you?
Well, they say there's strength in numbers, right? I think the people of the stocks, they saw you help out. I don't think they would object to you going on my little hunting party.
Thaddeus, let me be very clear. They likely saw me rip out the jugular of a magic wielder and burrow inside of a tentacled monstrosity. I don't think they'll be too eager to welcome someone like that.
Yeah, well, think about what that magic wielder and that tentacled, overgrown squid with a ego the size of the mountains in the distance were trying to do to them. You weren't trying to kill them. You were trying to kill the people that were trying to kill them.
I don't know, Thaddeus. It's just... I just don't think it has to be your responsibility.
Well, then whose should it be? Adamar? He hardly ever gets back out from behind his desk. And I'm not going to make Tate go out into the wilderness on his own.
None of us have to leave. That's the thing. We would be leaving on the word of that winged madman. That he would provide us reliable information just to be nice. If his word is the only indicator of life out there, then that is no life that I would like to see.
It's... fine. I won't ask you to go with. As much of a pompous jackass as that flying prick was, I think there was something to what he was saying. And I have some loose ends to talk about here in town before I go anyway. It's not like I'm gonna head out overnight. I don't do things without planning them out, you know this.
I really can't convince you, can I?
I'm sorry. There's always been a pull. Something tugging at me, telling me. There's a reason we go out there, and it's not just to scavenge. We go out there for hope. We go out there for the slim chance that we find that needle in the haystack. That we pull something back that'll change things here. Maybe we can bring some light back to this horrible fog. You do see what I'm trying to get at, don't you, SK?
I think that you have always had ambitions far greater than this little town could house. I know that you are a dreamer, Thaddeus. It is one of your many admirable qualities. I admire that greatly in you. You see things that a lot of others cannot. Hidden potential, But it could also just be nothing. And I don't want to see you lost. Because of hope.
Okay. Then let me ask you something. Let's, if you'll indulge me one time, let's see what's out there. Let's see what's on the path down to where he's pointing us. And if it looks like it's nothing, if it looks like a trap, if we see nothing but monsters and death and more mist than the eye can take in, we'll go back. But I have to at least try and see. I'm not going to push any further than I know I can go. That's my promise to you. I wouldn't want you to have to run this place on your own.
I will consider it.
And, well, there's also the possibility that none of this gets to go through anyway, because I'm pretty sure Adamar wants to have a talk after what happened, and he might just throw me in a jail cell, for all I know.
Well, rest assured, should it come to that, I will swiftly bust you out.
No need. I'm pretty sure if you hand him some of that cinnamon cider, you could call that bail.
Takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, so does he. But it's gonna take some time to prep for this anyway. So don't think we're rushing into it. I'm not just gonna go out there with the gun on my back and a dream. I'm gonna need more support, and it won't just be us.
Thaddeus, you know what's out there. I know what's out there. And we know the effects the mist has on the mind. You and I may be a bit more resilient to it, if nothing because of exposure. But how can you guarantee that you are not leading others to madness? I wish for you to think about that while you make your preparations. And I don't say this to be cruel.
No, you make a good point. We'd need some kind of failsafe. I'll get to work. I'll think about it. I'll run things by some people who know a thing or two. And I'll get back to you. My head's a little bit scrambled right now. I'm sure you can understand.
Yes.
And hey, for what it's worth, big dreams aside, I'm sorry I ditched you at the dance. I thought you'd like a chance to spread your wings a little bit, meet some people.
Oh, Nothing to apologize for, my friend. Of course, you had considerably the most attractive dance partner of the evening. I did have a conversation. As a matter of fact, I have a dinner invitation at the Plantar residence.
Ha! Nice job, SK. I knew you'd make some friends out there. You're a pretty likable guy when you get down to it.
Yes, well, perhaps it's high time society knew that as well.
Well, you've already got plenty of subjects. What's a few more to add to the list?
Right. Yes, quite right.
Well... Seriously, though, I should have shown you around a bit more. And I'm sorry about that.
Oh, think nothing of it, Thaddeus. It's quite alright. I'm sure the evening would have gone splendidly if we hadn't been ambushed.
Well... Yeah, I can... When you're right, you're right. Kind of wished they hadn't gotten in the way the second I was doing a pretty decent jig.
Perhaps you'll seize another opportunity to jig.
Listen, can I confess something before I go back to working on things?
Of course.
I'd been practicing for that dance. And I got interrupted, and I'm angry about it.
I know, Thaddeus. I've been hearing your footsteps on the floorboards for quite some time.
Hey, it makes it kind of easy ever since we had to remove one of the tables.
Your sense of rhythm has been improving.
Well, thank you. I guess let's chew on this whole plan and try and hammer out some of the problems with it. I'll find some kind of solution, and if I can't, we'll stay here and repair. How about that?
Sewer King just kind of clicks his teeth together from within his muzzle and just consider it chewed, my friend.
Maybe a poor choice of words. I would say get some sleep, but it's about noon for you, isn't it?
Something to that effect. I was going to do another round of laundry, as it seems that I have once again, sullied your garments with, another being's blood and viscera.
It's fine. Can I give you my coat?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm gonna go clean up the bar.
You get some sleep too.
Will do. Take care of yourself, SK.
Hmm.
And with that, Thaddeus is going to go back upstairs and try and unwind.
All right. Anything else from you, Meris?
No, but SK is gonna sit and sulk for a little bit.
Classic.
Doing
SK.
what he does best.
Mm-hmm.
He has to brood!
He's got a brood.
Brood in time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then we'll close on that scene. The next scene is going to be one with Kloven. Would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, of course. So, are we gonna assume it's same day or
It can be the same.
little-
It can be the same night. It can be the following night or the night after. Just really whenever.
Okay, so it's probably going to be a series of days. Most certainly the first night, Kloven will not return home, or at least tried to return home, but found the emptiness to be not frightening, but uncomfortable. So he ends up going to the tree where May is and attempting to sleep beside her. And this kind of gradually goes on for 1 or 2 more days where he'll wake up, his hair all messed up. You know, she hasn't been able to braid it, of course. Go to work and then return to her. And he's gotten to the point of sitting beside her and just idly talking what seems to himself, but he's chatting away at her. Just kind of, you know, tracing his finger on the sand beside her, like, it was a strange day today, but rather pleasant. Everyone seems still a bit on edge, but I got that old maid who works at the bakery to smile. I haven't seen her do that in a long time, but I think she's warming up to my charm. The children miss you too. But I don't think their substitute is as kind as you. She seems a bit more strict on the children.
I imagine as you just continue to talk, sort of soothed by almost the metronome, her breathing. Granted, breathing is kind of few and far between, like 1 breath for every 10-ish seconds. Very, very slow. Every time that you go there and sleep there, rest there, it's just constantly just like you feel a distant heartbeat, feel the body moving up and down. And there's enough room under her wings to kind of like snuggle up in there. One of the times that she come by to tell her stories and relax, kids will come by, just kind of look over and just do a quick wave, just smile, or running along. But your time watching, there's definitely a distance that the town keeps from it. They'll ask you questions like, "Oh, how is she doing? Is she looking any better?" The answer is just, I don't know. But find a bit of comfort. Even though there's a great emptiness at the same time. So, one of the nights, we'll say 3rd night, we're doing this. You find yourself falling asleep. As you drift off, sleep seems to drift off to sleep. It seems like things in general start to become a little bit distant. Your brain gets a bit fuzzy, you feel a sense of discomfort, but one that's altogether somewhat familiar to you. One that you've experienced just a few times before. As the discomfort builds, curiosity builds. Open your eyes. Don't find the dark, quiet night in the stalks. Instead, find yourself in a deep meadow surrounded by flowers of many colors. In the distance, you can see blue skies and snowy mountains. Something that Kloven has truly never seen before. Even in the past few days with the mist cleared, still an ever-present cloudy. The beauty is really unlike anything that you've ever seen. Pause and just bask in the wonder of it for a moment. As you do so, a familiar rhythm you can feel at your side. You are still sleeping next. He is with you, Miss Meadow. Still asleep, and still in her draconic form. As you sort of take in your surroundings, you realize the dream is surprisingly lucid, and you are able to stand up and survey the surroundings. Well, one thing you immediately notice beyond mountains is a small shack that can be found behind my modest and simple shack, but one that has its light on. Go to it.
Oh, yes, yeah. He'll definitely start to let the curiosity get the best of him and head towards it.
As you do, you find feet moving through the meadows, the flowers passing by. This profound sense of calm just washes over you, one that you've never really truly felt in perhaps a very long time in the stalks. Being forced, or willingly choosing to defend the town. There's always this little layer of dread seems to fade. The smell of the flower meadows begins to go behind you, still just as pleasant as before. For a moment, you're lost in the splendor. As you shake your head, you realize that you are now in front of the shack. You are free to open, if you will.
Sure. As customary dictates, he'll go ahead and put a palm up and knock on it first.
There is no response.
He'll check the handle then and see if he can open the door.
It's not locked.
All right then. He'll push it open and walk in.
As you step inside, your eyes immediately clock a few things. There's a small bed. On the walls, many, many different musical instruments, most of which you have not seen before. And a small workbench has a few stands with images on them, and a finished version of the instrument you saw I perform with just a week before.
If I could approach the bench, could I pick up the instrument?
You may.
Okay. Yeah. He'll go ahead and trace his fingers along it. Is it almost identical to the one that Mai has?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much an identical guitar. Acoustic.
Well, he's not the magician in the house, but he'll definitely give it a little strum, feeling that calmness from before. And she would love it here. Beautiful.
As the chord rings out, you hear it kind of echo. As if the shack had beautiful acoustics, even though it is simply just a shack.
Is there anything else notable in any of the instruments that on the walls that he can pick out?
There's a few that you recognize. Mostly just simple acoustic string instruments. I will use the terms that you probably have heard from her, but, considering music is mostly a forgotten thing in the world, like violins, cellos. There's a few woodwinds, flutes, other things just on the wall. But the one thing that does grab your eye, kind of around, is the two frames on the bench. First one you see is of a tall man with a big ol' scruffy beard and largely looks very unkempt. He's holding what appears to be a mug in one hand with a dark liquid inside of it. A strange rectangular object in the other with a strange light coming from it. He's smiling softly, but with immense bags under his eyes. The background has an immense amount of tiny shining green and red lights on a grid, seeming to be technology far beyond what you have seen in stocks. Second image, second frame, seems to be a photo. Kind of close your eyes and blink twice, of you. Looking and smiling at the camera. But there's something off. You don't seem to have any horns. There's a hand that's outstretched from the camera that appears to be almost inhuman, like a doll, with ball joints and engravings alongside of it. In the background, you can also see Thaddeus and that strange grayish-blue person that you saw during the battle, running around, while Thaddeus himself takes a seat. A younger Tate faces away from the point of view, wearing a deep, dark leather jacket. One that you've never seen him wear before.
I pick up the photo and I look at it. And it's the same age, correct? Everything looks the same except the horns.
You look roughly the same.
Okay. He kind of squints at the photo, tilts his head a bit. And looks around the room. Is there any indication, specifically the bed, that someone has been in here recently?
There is. In the bed, it's definitely been made, but it's not pristine.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's been used before, at the very least.
He'll kind of turn to the photo again and squint specifically at those ball-jointed arm in the photo.
You do so. You hear a voice in the distance. Quiet. Says, "That's not good. That's not good at all. Still not in the void this time, so it's not all for naught."
Oh? Hello?
There's no response immediately. You do hear footsteps begin to approach the shack.
I apologize for intruding. The door was open and I let myself in.
Ugh! What? Surprised to find you here. What the hell's going on? How did you get into the dreamscape?
It was open, I assume. How would I have gotten in otherwise?
Well, normally it's just me and her in here. At least whenever I stop by, at the very least. You do look
Her.
nice, though, Kloven.
That is very kind of you. The creature at the door? Does he recognize?
You do not recognize him, but it is an older man with long, pointed ears. They have a big white beard, overall are bald, and is just wearing a simple robe, sort of with a slight hunch over.
You know me so well, I'm almost ashamed to admit that I don't believe we've met.
Oh, well. I mean, it's been a little while, at the very least. Oh, we don't count the details. We don't count the details. Oh, I suppose that would explain. You have no idea who I am, is that correct?
I would be lying if I said I do.
Ah, well. I'm your father.
He kind of pauses, and that smile slightly twitches, but still remains. If anything, his eyebrows kind of raise.
Oh, I've never been very good at delicacies. Being delicate or anything of the sort. It's just matter of fact. It's true.
I sorry, I'm quite confused at Mai and I were orphaned. Are you sure? Are you certain?
Oh, I'm very certain.
Oh.
I mean, after all, it's partially our design.
Yes, this does feel quite like a dream, doesn't it?
It does. It is intended to be that way. It is intended for her to be able to have a nice, quiet place for her to go back to whenever she needed a moment to rest.
So is this not my own? Is this Mai's?
Yes. It is my dream space. And she looks quite different than the last time I've seen her, though not too different than what I suppose I should be expecting.
He presents the photo and kind of tilts his head a little.
Which photo, specifically?
The one of all of them.
Oh, well, no, I'm not in a photo or anything. I don't think there's a single photo that you would ever find that includes me into it. But it's besides the point. It's besides the point. There's a lot that I could be explaining, but it's been a bit too long since I had my last check-in with Mai. It's like 10 or so years. I don't think that's surely not that long. It's not too long.
Oh, is that so? Well, sad to
You
say
aren't
that I
supposed to
wasn't.
be here. That's the thing.
Oh, I was not graced with your presence. I apologize. But she is the older child, of course. The privileges she gets rather than my own, but
Are you trying to make this into a weird I didn't rear you correctly? Is that what's going on?
no, not at all. I suppose I'm a little jealous.
It's just that I'm a busy man, traveling all the way across the multiverses.
Oh, I
So,
apologize. I didn't realize you were so important.
she never tell you.
About you?
I suppose about me, but more so about you. I think it would have come up considering you guys are likely at least a few years into your journeys. Oh, we'll just cut the problems here. I'm Bahamut. I'm a dragon god. You are my son, and it's just as simple as that. Platinum dragon. You see those horns that you've got on there? That's me. Those are my horns that you are growing.
No, I know I must be dreaming.
You are dreaming. That's why I'm seeing you right now. I don't visit your pocket dimension. Far too dangerous.
Her dreams do seem nicer. I agree. But what do you mean by dangerous?
There's a lot of danger in your whole realm as a whole. It's quite simple. She was meant to handle it. I had to be elsewhere.
And I assume that's why you're here now? Because she's not able to?
Oh no, I had no idea that this was going on. I just check in every once in a while to make sure that things are going in the right direction.
Well, unfortunately, things are quite in a bit of a disarray. May is asleep now, and a dragon of all things.
She's always been capable of turning into a dragon.
Seems like there were things she refused to tell me then.
Kind of looks at you. Kind of narrows his eyes and says, "You know, you're a bit sassier than I expected you to be. That's not a teaching of mine. No, I suppose I didn't teach you much of anything." Kind of like slap you on the back, and as he does, you just wake up.
He kind of jerks awake, blinking and sweating and confused, looking about. Is May still sleeping? Is Mai still sleeping?
Mm-hmm. He's right there, right beside you, sleeping peacefully as ever.
He kind of will eventually fall back on her with a sigh, wiping his forehead. Bahamut, huh? Would explain why I'm so grand, but you've got a lot of explaining to do when you wake up. And he's just gonna leave it at that.
I had something else, and I think we will leave it think that's a good point to end that on.
Sure.
So just gonna tease you a bit.
God.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed meeting Daddy Dearest.
Thanks, Dad.
Kloven, your dad sucks. I'm so sorry, buddy.
For once, I'm not on board with Bahamut. He seems kind of like a jackass deadbeat. Go back to buying milk, Dragon Dad.
The Wilk, as they call it.
Oh.
Yeah, Lily.
I know.
He's a dragon and he's out buying milk. Does that make it pilk?
The Dilk. Wait, I should say that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong.
All right. So, Kloven, are you gonna try and sleep there again, or are you going to go back home after that experience?
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to get another good slap on the shoulder. So I think he'll try to go back home. Or at least if he does come back, kind of keep his distance. At least a few feet from her if he does decide to sleep.
Fair enough. All right. Then we'll close the scene fully there and move on to the next, which is SK and Tate. I believe SK would make most sense for you to start the scene.
Yeah, so after, some pondering and a little bit of encouragement from Thaddeus to get to know the Topsiders, and after all, he did receive a very gracious dinner invitation. Sewer King is going to take Tate up on his offer to come over for dinner. However, the thing is Sewer King has a very different idea of how dinner works compared to probably everybody else. So, how dinner functions at Thaddeus's is SK emerges in the wee hours of the morning, basically demands food, gets fed, and that's dinner. So it's probably 2 a.m, and SK emerges, makes his way to the Plantar household, kind of scuttling about, and is not going to go to the front door, but instead is going to go to the one that he knows is often open, because, quite frankly, he's looted the Plantar larders before. So he's essentially gonna break into their kitchen and help himself to what's in the pantry, and that's what he thinks is his dinner invitation.
Right. While you start, while you're rummaging Remy style from Ratatouille through the larders in the kitchen, there's gonna be some footsteps coming down. I assume normally when you hear footsteps you fucking dip out normally, but since you were invited, how would
exactly? Yeah, exactly. So typically, yes, he would scurry out of there at the first sign of a presence. But he was invited, so he's got nothing to be nervous about. So he just kind of sticks around, keeps doing what he's doing.
You hear some footsteps coming down, holding a candle, a lantern, a flash. I don't know what's technologically sound for this area, but there's Tate in his I would say PJs, but they're really just clothes that he is comfortable enough to wear at home and not get too dirty. And he comes in, and the light sort of flashes in the kitchen over to SK as he wipes his eyes, and he just sees your silhouette and goes, "Oh!" He's fucking nearly drops the candle. Like, oh, hey, Sewer King, right? Oh,
Yes, good evening.
I'd say it's plenty more than evening. Are you oh, is everything all right? What are you doing here so late in our pantry?
Oh. Well, I had thought to come earlier, but that would be more of a luncheon than a dinner.
I see you've your little food clock's a bit off, huh? Yeah. Normally there's a little bit of a heads up for dinner. Assuming that's what you're here for and helping yourself with.
Well, of course, you invited me after all.
Right. How about you go take a seat at the just at the island over there. I'll looks at like the bites taken out of the ingredients. I'll see if I can eat up some of my mom's leftovers. Just
As he stands up to his full height, he steps a little closer to you, like very much in your personal space, and just, you are Tate, correct?
I don't have my glasses on, and I'm not like I bathed, so you know I look probably cleaner than I did when we met. But yeah, this is Tate. Why?
No. This is all wrong. No, no. Tate looks remarkably different, and he's full on going to like hands on your face, and just certainly didn't have this. Shuffles through your beard a little bit.
I'm something going on here, guy. You okay?
Of course. Just look a little different than I remember, that's all.
We met like a few days ago at the the celebration festival. I had on a scarecrow outfit, but like I wasn't covering my face. Is that? Are you okay?
Perhaps.
How about you
Yes.
just take a seat at the island? I'll see about reheating some bread for you and some beef stew, alright?
Very good. He'll shuffle on over to the table, take a seat, and just watches you.
Yeah, like he's got his back turned to him. He's like at the stove. Click, 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 like it comes on, or like it strikes a match and turns it on. As he like starts spinning the pot and has some of like the drier bread up on the stove as well to toast up. He goes to like the little pantry and then pulls out like a pitcher of milk to pour himself a cup. Do you drink milk?
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is your dinner, but this is like my midnight little cup of milk to get me back to bed. Yeah, I'll pour you a cup too. Anyways,
It seems as though you were not expecting me.
yeah, I wasn't. For most people, not judging you by any means. I don't know your living situation. For most people, dinner's around 6, 7, maybe 8 if you've been working out in the fields a little too long. Like PM in the night. This is a little unexpected. It's why my parents and my sister's still asleep right now. Otherwise, they'd, welcome you, think the lights would be on. There'd be more than just reheated leftovers. So he like grabs a bowl and puts it on the counter in front of you. Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, big guy. We didn't plan it out that well enough, anyways.
Well, I'm... forgive the mistake, then, but I'm grateful for your hospitality, nonetheless.
Hey man, no worries. Hospitality's been a part of the Plantar trade since my mom, I guess, introduced it. But yeah, no worries, buddy. Yeah, next time I'll just we'll figure out a proper time and stuff. Just speaking of your living situation. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I shall endeavor to rise early enough to accommodate.
But it's fine. You're not adverse to like sunlight or light or anything like that, are you?
Well, living subterranean, the light is a little offensive to my eyes, but I adjust.
I mean, wait. I know you called yourself Sewer King as part of your costume or name, but title, but you don't actually live in the sewers, do you?
Of course.
It's at this point Tate finally takes a whiff with his nose. What does SK smell like?
You know, it's not as offensive as you would think. There's definitely some lingering nastiness, but it's not like what you would expect of someone who, like, lives in the sewers.
You don't smell half bad. But, I mean, the sewers the whole time. Well, I mean, so like for food, you did that. You looked really comfortable in there. Have you normally just been eating food out of our larders?
Not all the time. I do have some discerning subjects that, take care of my needs.
Oh, you've already got friends and family, I hope, in town.
Friends.
Who are they? I mean, you said you came with Thaddeus, right? Festival, I'm not misremembering.
He pauses as he suddenly realizes that he probably shouldn't have said that. I know of Thaddeus, yes.
I want to insight check to see if Tate can pick up on the whole like if you attended. There is no bonus to my insight. It is a straight D20. 19. It is faded.
Yeah.
Give me the backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, he's lying. You can tell.
Yeah. Well, much like that, Ace, I don't exactly tell Adamar everything. So don't worry about it. I assume that's what this is about, especially given how many of the other farmers have been complaining about, poultry, missing food, stuff like that. But can I ask you why? How do I say this? Do you mind if I ask you why you stayed in the sewers? Or, well, with Thaddeus? I mean, were you scared of us or something, or?
Scared? Certainly not. No, it's just... Well, my subjects needed me. What sort of monarch could I be if I did not live among my people?
Your people? Like the people of this town, or?
No. The rats.
Is there a rat with your out of character? Does a rat just pop up on the table when you say that?
You could see out of his waistcoat pocket, there's a little rat head that pokes out.
He kind of steps back, like, instinctively, as like a farmer with a whole, like, those things, like, chew through everything we have, like, it's kind of worrisome, but, like, also, he composes himself because he knows it's you, and he can kind of already tell this is kind of the norm. He just takes a deep breath and goes, alright, yeah, King of the Sewer, King of Rats. Huh. Can you talk to rats?
Of course I can.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised given everything you were doing last time. When all hell broke loose. Speaking of, I should ask, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
I haven't seen you since that night, and well, I'm not gonna put up a front. I didn't even do any of the fighting, and I felt kind of fucking overwhelmed.
Well, I feel perfectly in good form. I thank you for your concern, sir. Were you not concerned about, well,
My.
He sort of just gestures at his whole being.
About you, like, biting into that thing. I don't know what to call it.
Yes, not but to find a point on it.
Tell me, SK, are you a man that appreciates honesty or politeness?
I think I would rather know the truth. A king needs honest courtiers.
Okay, I can get behind that. Alright, picture this. It's, for you, I guess, the middle of the day. You're waking up at an odd time in your sewer, getting maybe a sewer snack or a Thaddeus snack, right? And out of the corner, out of nowhere, you see a creature you've never seen before, just eating through your stuff. Yes, Sewer King, I was scared. But, like, not in a pitchfork and torches kind of way, I want to make that clear. In a, I don't know who or what you are, and one of my first impressions of you is you biting the crap out of something. And that's a hard first impression, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to work on it. I mean, I can't be that much better. First time I met you and I was offering you, like, what, junk food? Snacks? Stewie's probably a lot healthier for you.
They were very good snacks.
I know, but that ain't exactly good for your diet. My ma would fucking slap the shit out of me if she told me, like, the first real food. I'm assuming real food because it looks like you just eat ingredients. Like, you can take these to make, like, he holds up, like, I'm assuming it's like a big chunk of cheese that's been bitten through. You can use this to, like, make things that are much better.
I'm well aware, but I am also a man of efficiency.
If you're as royal as you claim to be, you know that efficiency pales to joy, right? Trust me, just have some of my ma's do. It's, missing some of her warmth and touch, but it's probably still good.
SK, at this direction, knowing that he was just told that he scared Tate because he, like, chewed through something, he is going to move so carefully, like, slowly pick up the spoon, slowly take a spoon.
Oh, hold on. I can see you rigidly moving. Show me how you normally eat. If it's messy, don't worry about it. We have rags. You're fine. If you eat messy, if you eat like the way you fight, that's fine. That night was a lot of things, a lot of emotions, and a lot of things I'm still thinking over. Not all of them having to do with you, by the way. I don't regret you showing up in my house at 2 in the morning for dinner. I'm not regretting that. I'm telling you that right now. This moment right here, I've got no problems with it, alright? So just eat already, man. However you want to. With your hands, you want to eat and jam your whole face in the bowl, go for it. But I'm warning you, you're going to burn yourself if you do. And here, it works best with this, as he puts like some whole grain bread on the table next to it that's been toasted up.
Sewer King's going to give him a wary once-over. I'm not gonna insight check it, because I think even Sewer King can recognize that Tate is just a very forthcoming person. And so he is going to lift up the bowl with his hands, and you hear the clicking of his jaw unlatching. Dislocates his jaw and just dunks the whole bowl down his throat.
Does he eat the bowl too?
No, but like all the contents.
Okay. He dunks the whole bowl. Huh. Damn, that doesn't hurt or anything?
You see the glimpses of like this long reptilian tongue lick up the remnants in the bowl and just... No. No, it's...
And the stew, how was it? Did you like it?
I liked it very much.
And then Tate shoots a smirk, which slowly turns into a chuckle, and he just... I don't know what you were so worried about. I think my mama would like you. Well, you scarf that food down, she'd be happy to give you seconds, thirds, however much you'd need.
At that, he hands you the empty bowl.
I'll see what other. I don't think there's much left in the pot, but I'll see what I can scoop up.
You are a very good man, sir.
I try to be the best planter I can be. Anyways, eat up. So,
Thank you.
now that you're out of your proverbial and literal hovel, what's the plan for your Majesty?
Ugh. That's the rub, isn't it? I mean, all these people talking about leaving and going on these foolhardy expeditions for who knows what, searching, scouring the mists for answers and signs of lost civilizations that may or may not be there, and surely, Tate, you aren't fallen victim to such delusions of grandeur.
This is kind of my first. Well, I mean, I know there's been talks in town of people wanting to travel after the whole, well, everything, but no, I know my place, SK. I'm just a farmer. I just pick stuff up, I put stuff down. I'm more than happy with that.
Oh, but finally, a man with some sense.
Well, I don't think sense much applies to people like you or Thaddeus or even Kloven, Adamar. I'm assuming those are the people you're talking about, right? I imagine Thaddeus wants to get out, right?
Thaddeus is... well... he's a dreamer. And he wants to do good. And his idea of doing good is running out into the mist and getting himself killed. I tried to talk him out of it, but just won't see reason.
Stupid is a stupid does, sir, and the way I see things, I mean, other people have gone out in that mist and come back just fine. My daddy was one of them.
Fine. Just fine. Yes. They often seem that way.
My daddy was one of them. He just looks up at you, saying that.
Oh?
Yeah. And the way I see him, he's still fine, he's still kicking. He was never a strong man growing up, mind you. He was very much like Thaddeus, a scrawny little thing, just how he is now, but his brain worked just fine. He went out on the mist, he did expeditions before I was born. Maybe even a little when I was younger, I don't exactly remember, but I think if my dad could do it, and his friends can do it, there's nothing saying that Thaddeus can't. I mean, I know it's dangerous, don't get me wrong, but the way he fought last night, do you think Thaddeus is weak?
Of course not. But it doesn't matter how strong you are. The mist will take its toll.
Yeah, well, life takes its toll, right? I mean, look at me. Just puts his hands out under the candlelight, and you can see all the calluses and the scars that have, like, happened. I've been working these grounds my entire life since I was a kid, and it's left its mark on me. If somebody wants to go out there and get a different kind of scar, I'd say let him. And if you acknowledge that he's, well, stronger, I don't think you're really worried about him getting hurt. I think you're worried about him not coming back, yeah?
Of course. Because even if he does come back, it might not be him.
There's only really one way to make sure of that, right? To make sure he comes back same way he left.
prevent him from going on this ridiculous crusade in the first place.
Oh no, you ain't convincing Thaddeus of nothing. Trust me. Years of seeing the guy, you ain't budging him. You could go with him if you wanted, though.
Ugh.
Listen, alright, I know he's too proud to say it, but I know damn well he wants you with him. And likewise, you being that proud, I know you damn well you want to be with him, right? So go with him. Make sure that things get too hot, that dumbass learns to turn around, alright? Boy's got intelligence, but he's lacked the wisdom to know when he's bitten on more than he can chew. You, however, Rat's greatest strength is its ability to see when something's too much for it, yeah? If your people know that, then you know that. I know you'll get him out of there. Alright? Trust me, as someone who kind of looks out the window towards the tree, went back to SK, someone who didn't get to do a whole lot before things went too far. Someone who couldn't say some things before things went too far. You don't want to end things on him saying goodbye, and you staying here.
You speak from experience, sir?
Freshly.
Well, Tate Plantar, this has been an enlightening conversation, and I am wholeheartedly glad that I decided to come to your estate for dinner. I think you will be a veritable asset in my court. I value your refreshing honesty.
And I appreciate your gumption for my ma's cooking. Alright? Next time we do this, hopefully they'll be awake so you can meet them. I think you might like my ma. I can't promise anything with my sister, though. She's a little more discerning of characteristics. But yeah.
I shall be the very image of charisma. He says this as he latches his muzzle back on, stands from his seat, gives you a very deep, courteous bow.
He'll walk him out. I'm assuming he's gonna try to walk SK out the front door, but SK's gonna default to the way he broke in.
Oh, he's straight up like yeeting through the window, like shoop.
I gotta look into getting new locks. He just sees his silhouette running off. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And SK runs back to Thaddeus's.
He scuttles back into the night.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, Thaddeus. I believe you had a certain someone you wanted to talk to.
Yeah, so Thaddeus is... If SK is paying attention in the bar before he heads out, Thaddeus actually knocks back a shot before he heads off, or he heads off to Adamar's place.
Okay. Then, as you sort of make your way through the town, it's been about 4 days since the events of the festival and the events of the fight. At this point, a lot of repairs are ongoing. You can see people on top of roofs, hammering, bolting down new shingles, just overall making whatever repairs necessary to all of the buildings that were damaged by the incident. You make your way through the town and find yourself coming to the guard station, the guard building, whatever you would like to call it. And it's a place you're relatively familiar with, never necessarily as a lawbreaker, but one that you've been summoned to on occasion to discuss. So, as you enter main hall, One of the guards that's manning the desk kind of just looks up, sees you, and just kind of gives you a nod. Knowing that you're not here to speak to the riffraff, you're here to speak to the big man. As you kind of walk through, you come to Adamar's door. Let you...
Thaddeus
Go ahead.
will at least knock.
Oh, please come in.
He's gonna slip in, just, no, I know, not the face you want to see every day. But I think I need to talk to you about a couple of things.
By all means, we are busy making preparations for whatever comes next.
That's
Well,
actually exactly what I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, then please. Have a seat. I apologize that Kloven finds himself out at the moment, running some school.
It's fine. I knew he would be out doing stuff for the betterment of the town anyway. He's got a good head on his shoulders, that's for sure.
You had the chance to talk to him in the last case. I know he's been spending a lot of time by the tree.
Haven't found the right time. I've been in the workshop a lot. And, you know, helping out where I can with the messed up buildings here and there.
Right.
Adamar, let me be honest. I'm gonna be the bigger man here and apologize for hiding things from you for so long.
This is a surprise. You are coming clean with your presumed shady dealings. He gives you a smirk.
Well, if you can call it that. The only thing I'm guilty of is serving a damn fine drink and keeping an old friend of mine jacked up under my roof.
I know. And it's not a crime or even like close to that. It's just, I suppose I'm just teasing you a bit.
I know SK's given the logistics side of things more than their fair share of migraines, so that's really what I'm here to apologize for. And lying to you about it.
Oh, I know you've been lying to me. You've lied to me about many things over our years. But, if I may, allow me to elucidate on at least my side of things.
Go ahead.
I know there's been many times where both you and Jillian have taken home different people that have been damaged by Mist. Whatever the hell we're finding ourselves fighting against. And it's admirable what it is you do. It's an invaluable service to the community. Though some may see it slightly different. After all, as I'm sure you can imagine, most people here value their status quo higher than many things in life. They don't know what it is that we're fighting against every day. They just know the safety, the walls. So when you take these people in, these people that need help, that need assistance, and they lash out, know that when I come to you, it is not out of desire to hurt or even blame. It's because we both serve a duty to this town. You serve a duty to those that are disparaged and most vulnerable. I serve a duty to those that, well, find themselves in the most comfort. So thank you. I'll return the favor. Thank you for your services to this town. Because of you. Because of Jillian. Had a lot of new people come. A lot of new people reintegrate in society. Don't believe I've ever had the chance to say this because you tend to just be mean and sassy to me. But behind this tired old exterior, believe me, I know the good you do. It's just fun to poke.
Well, that was a bit of a shock. To be honest, I
I'm
expected
not
you to have stopped.
evil.
No, but even you've got to admit the stick in the mud allegations have a bit of truth to them.
The sticking out of the mud allegations are absolutely 100% true. I take my job very seriously, even though most people here don't seem to.
Well, hear me out. Thaddeus is going to reach into his coat and pull out a glass bottle of Adamar's favorite cider. You could stand to be a little less serious. People see you as a rule book, less than a person.
Oh. This bribery. You know, we don't have many strict laws. But
Didn't say it was a bribe, it's a gift.
it's a gift. That's what many people that give bribes often say.
Am I expecting anything in return?
Are you?
Not necessarily for this, but I have a proposal for you.
Please.
If this, don't take the drink as part of it. But I've been chewing on something for a few days now. And you're probably going to think I'm crazy, just like everyone else has that I've told. Talked to SK, I talked to Hunter, and, well, to be honest, that's been about it. But I want to find out what's to the south of here. I know you care a lot about what's in these walls, but we had our walls broken down 4 days ago. And if we don't want that to happen again, we have to find out why they were broken in the first place. Who's after us? Who wants this place gone? And maybe if we do, we can find a way to make it bigger, make it better, find a better foothold, and claw back more of the world. Even if it's a little bit. Even if it's just another field, more farmland, maybe a house, some ruins we can rebuild. Something, anything. The first steps are always going to be small, right? But if we take them, we can keep moving forward. I fully believe there is a fight that we can win. We just have to pick our battles the right way.
So you want in?
I need supplies. I need some men either crazy or foolhardy enough, or, looking for adventure. I would be willing to go with me.
Spare me the insults. I'm head of this expedition.
You're the head. You want to get out from behind that desk and actually go out in the world?
I know it may come as a bit of a surprise, but I do want to. Let me start there. Do want to. However, you are correct. Safety of the town does come first. I'm not convinced of said safety at the moment. However, that is one thing looking into. I spoke with that strange creature that calls itself Anti. I would recommend doing so, at least before we leave, as they are also going to be going. In fact, that is what they told me their prerogative, their mission, is they will be leaving in a few days, no matter whether we go with them or not. So, I'll elucidate you on a few extra information. Because if you are going to go, I highly recommend you go with them, considering the fact that they seem to be capable, in some way, shape, or form, of absorbing the mist and causing us to not have to breathe it in when deep inside of it. I don't know if it's some sort of bubble or what have you, but they seem to be capable of doing so.
Wait a minute. Run that by me again.
Anti is able to absorb the mist into their person, purify it, and allow us safe passage, at least through small sections.
Adamar, I think you might have just solved my biggest problem with this expedition.
And what was that biggest problem?
The fact that I wasn't sure I'd be able to convince SK to go along unless we had something we could do about the mist.
You think you can convince him?
He told me that if I found a way to solve that solution, he'd at least indulge the thought.
That person called himself, that you're calling SK, had chewed through whatever that monster was. One of the most vicious fighters I've ever seen in my entire life.
And he was fighting for us.
Was. He's one of yours. One that you've helped. Correct? I want to hear it from your mouth, not his.
Yeah. I took him in when I was young. Right after I inherited the bar, actually.
Well, don't know who else is crazy enough to go on this. But I can find a way to secure the town's safety. I will be. At the very least, a few guardsmen. Do not know if Kloven will be among them. Sure. His sister complicates things.
Even bringing up Kloven makes Thaddeus wince a bit. As much as I wanted to go with, I don't want him to get hurt.
He's a capable guardsman. I know that.
Yeah, and he's all too capable of taking the hit for one of us.
You would do the same within a heartbeat. In fact, I think you're more self-destructive than he is. Should a nerve? Did I?
Maybe a bit.
Listen. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate your gusto in wanting to assist. Spot is yours. We'll be happy to have you. Take as many as we want.
I'm going. I think it's just a matter of whether or not you can keep up.
Oh, you tease me to no end. Even if as you come clean and say you're sorry for lying to me, you still can't help but tease like you're better than me. Trust me, I know you're not.
To be honest, I was mainly apologizing in case... Well, I didn't get to banter like this with you again. Can't be too careful when you're dealing with the mist, after all.
You'll miss my You would have missed my banter.
Maybe a bit. It's a little bit better than reading the newspaper every day.
There'll be plenty of it to go around. Set out. Hope. I hope. He kind of trails off a little bit to the side. And you can see there's a deep desire. Like, there's like almost, you can like sense some sort of like anger radiating off of him. Just the idea that he won't be able to do this.
Hey. For what it's worth. You, Kloven, SK? There aren't many other people in the stocks I would rather have watching my back.
So you do
Maybe
want
one.
Kloven to come?
I do and I don't.
Be true with your feelings for once, Thaddeus. I see how you look at him.
It's not my place.
It's not.
Listen. He'd be better off without a loose cannon like me in his life.
Say that.
But also, I don't think I would be as well off as I am without him.
Kind of sits there for a moment, just kind of looks at you. You truly are something. Don't fit in here. Definitely don't fit in out there. Trustworthy and loyal to a fault. The good qualities to have on dangerous expeditions like this. Don't go getting yourself killed. That's all I ask.
Trust. I feel like if I got myself killed, you, of all people, would be the last person to let me hear the end of it.
You're right. Go to your funeral and give you a quip about all of this.
Yeah, and you do it with gusto, considering it'd be the one time I wouldn't have a way to get a word back in edgewise.
Would be good to have the last word.
As I've always said, when I'm dead, Adamar. When I'm dead.
Make your preparations. There will be a meeting. 3 days.
Hey, about that whole preparation thing.
Please, go ahead.
I tied a key around that bottle for you. It's the spare to the workshop. You're free to take whatever you need from down there. Nothing quite like Jillian's old gun, but maybe a few upgrades for you and your men.
Have you been holding out on the state?
What can I say? Sometimes you've got to keep the tavern pretty secure.
You're full of surprises. I appreciate it. I appreciate your trust. He kind of gives you a little, like, smirk. Slitted eyes.
Well, to borrow words from a foolhardy, ironclad old fool, don't go getting yourself killed, Adamar. Not on my watch.
Fair enough. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate your strength and your honesty.
Well, I appreciate you using your pull around here to get this whole thing together. Went a lot smoother than I thought it would. I thought you were just gonna slap handcuffs on my wrists and call it a day.
It would be so easy to do that and throw you in jail and just watch you rot. But I think you've learned that that's not me. Not good to make assumptions about people. After all, handcuffs can be used for so much more.
Listen, whatever you and Kloven get up to with those handcuffs, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, no, nothing of the sort. You made assumptions there, didn't you? I'm
It
just
was a
teasing.
joke.
Thought it'd get under your skin.
Just enjoy the drink, Adamar. I have some more things to tinker with.
I will.
Thanks for hearing me out.
I'll gesture to the door.
Thaddeus is gonna walk out. If he's paying attention, he's going to see just a little bit of a blush. He flustered him quite a bit.
All right. Anything else for this as you walk out?
All good.
All good. And we shall move on. Sorry, I have your guys' Discord chat open on my other monitor, and I love it. I love it so much.
You can't just make a handcuff joke like that.
Oh my god!
You can't just do that.
We can and we will.
Jeez! I would say get a room, but they were in a room.
Get another room.
Get a jail cell.
Get
Oh,
away.
no.
Yo, hey,
yo.
yo.
Arcane Season 2 called
Yeah, I was
One-
saying, do you really think I needed all the guards at the Hex Gates? Anyways, I'm gonna put down my blush a little bit on that.
A ship is born, ladies and gents.
Let's go.
All right. Next up, the following day, Kloven, we'll start with you. As you sort of wake up this night, you sleeping by Mai, you did not have that dream. You did not find yourself in the meadow. And just wake up normally. As you do so and are sort of like coming to, you feel and hear Mai's heartbeat sort of pick up a bit. It's been pretty steady. Same beats per minute, basically every 10 seconds for the last 4 days. It picks up.
He'll clock that immediately and kind of get closer to where her head is, stroking it softly and locking eyes on her to see if she'll open them.
Notice the breathing that's been consistently going. Sort of continues. There's one deeper breath. As it exhales out, feel a bit more warmth. eyes to open very, very slightly as they lock with yours. There's no word spoken from her, at least. He immediately looks into yours. You feel comfort.
Well, good morning there, sunshine. Starting to wonder if you were ever going to wake up.
She, second, still kind of wearily looking at you, proceeds to kind of quickly check to see if she's still a dragon, essentially. Quickly realizing that she is. And looks back at you. You hear this in your head, not opening her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been terribly long?
For me, far too long. But only a few days.
Few days. It's good.
Are you all right? You certainly look a bit different, but I don't mind the look. I think you look beautiful in any form.
You can feel that same feeling of comfort. It's like a little rush of a wave of it. You're sort of with her. I'm weak still. It's happy to see you. I think it would be best if you told people to come. I think it would be good for people to know.
Of course. I'll gather everyone as fast as I can. Just try to stay awake for me. Just for a little bit.
I think I need to stretch. I don't really know how to stretch, but I think I need to stretch.
Well, you try to do that, and I'll be right back then.
Thank you, brother.
Of course, my dear sister. And he'll immediately use sending to send Adabar a message as he gets up to his feet and starts trying to gather everyone.
I will ask everybody, as I assume she would probably, or Kloven would probably at least try and rouse the party. Does all of the party come?
I think Tate would offer food and stuff for Kloven to take back. He does not go.
Okay.
Not this moment.
What time is it?
It's more like he will be like, if your friend wants to come, Thaddeus.
It is probably about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I just got to bed.
I can ask, and then Thaddeus is going to bang on this trapdoor entrance with his hand.
Well, that's where it was.
You never figured it out? You almost tripped over this like 8 times.
There's
was
there's no answer.
ASK, you asleep?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like it.
Good night.
Mai just woke up.
That's very nice.
You sure you don't want to go?
I'm sleep.
Well, you heard the man. I wouldn't want to disturb His Royal Highness's beauty sleep.
Yes,
Even the most
sleeping.
gorgeous of monarchs need their beauty sleep.
Yeah, especially you, oh radiant one.
Guess it's just the two of us then, and he'll give him a wink.
I suppose. Why don't you lead the way?
Be off.
As you sort of make your way back, you see that there's already a good amount of children sort of gathered around her. Kind of scattering around, asking questions. She's looking a little overwhelmed, but very, very touched. Just smiles. She looks up and sees you folks there. She proceeds to lift her head, having stretched a little bit. She opens her mouth says, "I'm glad to see you, Thaddeus."
I'm happy you're awake. I was worried you were starting to become a town fixture.
I don't want to be a town fixture.
I don't know. It would be a better looking monument than most of the things we've had put up around here. But I like it better when you're here for conversation anyway.
Children, please, if you wouldn't mind running along. I think there's some things we need to talk to Thaddeus and Kloven about. It's just kind of like going, "Oh, all right." And they'll run back off towards the
Thaddeus
school.
is gonna ruffle the hair of one of the kids and whisper, "I hear if you bully Adamar, he'll give you a treat."
You two. Are the others not coming?
I tried to wake SK up. He needs his beauty sleep.
But Tate has offered food in his stead.
I think that would be lovely.
He'll go and present her with the food that Tate had made for her.
You're just very slowly, just unused to how to eat in a body like this. But still, work her way through. Did I worry you?
Perhaps an understatement.
Yeah, you could say that.
You're right. This is, I'm sure, a bit of a shock. All of you.
Were you aware you could do this?
I was. It's simply not something I suppose I wanted. Have to do.
I'm guessing by the fact that you said you have to do it, or had to do it, and that you didn't change back to eat the food that Tate brought, that this is kind of a one-way trip.
If I'm being honest, I do not know. I don't think it's permanent. But I think it will require a good amount of energy. Energy that I don't currently have. I do change back. I assume. When she looks over towards me, I assume some things will be slightly different.
We can work around the changes, that's for sure. But whatever we can do to try to get your strength back. If you need healing, if you need more food, if you need to rest more.
Well, think rest. Think energy. However that may happen, necessary. But I will say, well, I assume you all will be leaving. Is that correct?
That's about the stretch of it, yeah. How'd you catch on? Didn't think you were hearing all the gossip while you were passed out.
She kind of like... You see the eyes kind of open a bit wider. Well, I just had a hunch. No,
Well, it's a good hunch.
You all would never rest on your laurels to keep this town safe. Especially given what we have experienced.
I would be a bad town guard if I wouldn't try to protect it. Even if that means going outside the city. You seem rather eager to do, Thaddeus.
What was your first clue?
Your stance, the way your muscles flex, and how eager your eyes look.
You telling me you never stop watching my eyes and my muscles? Is that it?
It is quite a sight.
Hey, be honest with me. Does he ever take his eyes off me when I'm walking by?
She looks back to Kloven like...
He's just smiling. He's just...
I don't believe I'm the one you should be asking that question to.
I don't think he's gonna answer me honestly.
That's part of the charm that you like in him, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right.
Oh, sorry, am I speaking a little out of turn?
No, this is nice. I've missed this.
I'll be honest, I have too.
Well,
Then...
please go ahead.
No, it's... The stalks are quite different when they don't hear you sing or your instruments, so... Even though I believe it might be a little bit more difficult to play now.
You're right. Certainly don't think there are many of my instruments to play, given... She kind of lifts up the claws.
I did bring something for that singing voice of yours, though.
Oh?
I don't know if it'll help, but I brought some apple juice from home. saved some to not make any alcohol out of.
It's very kind of you, Thaddeus.
Yeah, don't mention it.
There's a deep, she looks down, thinking just about that. She takes a deep breath and just says, I hope that I can. Please, I think I'm going to try and rest a little bit more. I understand you have a lot of preparations to make.
Certainly do. Yes.
Honey. But before you go, can I ask you a question?
By all means.
How much do you know about what's the south? What's that side of here?
He looks into your eyes, sort of narrows her eyes a little bit. South?
Yeah.
I've never been outside of the stocks.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if that was all you knew. I would like to insight check DM.
All right. Please roll me an insight check.
Let me find my character sheet. Hang on a moment. Give me a moment here. With my plus 0 wisdom. Let's roll that straight d20, shall we?
Straight?
In
Well,
my
not that,
Mistwalkers?
It's a gay d20. The 17.
Okay. I'll make it traditional. Okay.
Oh.
Ty goes to attacker.
There's no bonuses necessarily included in that. I decided to keep it big.
Oh man.
Oh, damn. It's a daisy. It's a negative, right? She's not known
Yeah, she's not known to have a +6 in charisma or anything.
Oh no!
Whoa!
That's definitely not her main stat from last campaign.
Listen. It's a new world.
I know. I'm not saying that he is the same, but I'm just being silly.
Yeah,
So you kind of are able to. The pause is enough. You're pretty sure you can't tell if she's being honest or not. But the pause is enough to give, well, for lack of a better word, you pause. That makes sense.
Thaddeus is gonna crack a little bit of a smile.
You think she probably is mostly telling the truth? But your knack and intuition for this says, I think there might be something going on. You can't let go of that.
You know, it's funny, I'll let you rest. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna press you or anything, but if I didn't know any better, that sounds an awful lot like a trick I would have pulled.
Sure, I just wish to help as much as I can.
I know. That's why I'm not gonna go pushing. You just woke up. You should get some sleep. We'll come back, and when we do, I hope you'll be up and walking again, and we can have a more in-depth chat.
I hope so. She'll kind of finish eating food that's been left for her from Tate, and then proceed to kind of just cuddle up again and just go back to sleep, at least for now. But you can tell Kloven, specifically, you can tell that this is a meaningful sleep. She is choosing to sleep. So the breath is a bit faster than it was before. This is not like the coma that she was in.
Mm-hmm. I think just, if you don't mind, just before she fully falls asleep, I think Kloven would turn to Thaddeus and say, "Thank you for coming. I want to speak to you in just a moment, but do you mind if we meet back at your bar?"
No better place in town for a one-on-one chat.
Perfect. I'll meet you over there then.
Take all the time you need.
Thank
Gotta
you.
make sure Maya gets some sweet dreams after all, and nobody's better suited to giving someone that than you.
I have been known to give people pretty sound sleep. But
Well.
thank you. I'll be there in just a moment.
Like I said, all the time you need. I'll get you a glass of your favorite when you show up.
You know me too well.
And trust me, I at least know your alcohol tastes.
Guilty as charged. But
Daddy.
oh yeah,
Go ahead.
he's gonna continue to stroke Mai's head a little as she's getting, slowly falling asleep, and going to lean a little bit closer to her. I think I saw our father. If you know anything, I would love to know. But it doesn't have to be now. You sleep.
Her eyes, when you say this, jolt awake.
So it wasn't just a dream then?
No. Wasn't.
Then you knew.
I'm going to have to be a bit more specific than that.
About who? What he is?
She hesitates again, before saying, I don't think that it's the right time. But it will be.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I cannot tell you more.
Women and their secrets. No, it's all right. I know you'll tell me when the time is right.
Thank you for trusting me.
Of course. You're my sister after all.
I am. She'll close her eyes again. Okay. Anything else?
Okay. Nope, that's all.
And we'll head right on into the next section with both the two folks that were just talking. So please go ahead.
All right. So after spending those last couple of minutes with Mai, Kloven will gather himself up, brush himself off, compose himself once again, and head to Thaddeus's bar. Once he enters, it's all smiles once again, looking over the counter as he usually does. Is Thaddeus already behind the bar?
Oh, he's been ready.
Then Kloven, in his usual manner, will sit across from it and kind of stretch his body over the bar counter.
Have a good chat.
An insightful one, yes. It was good to see her again.
Yeah, I'm glad she's okay.
I think she will be, despite her unique form.
Someone needs to give her about a flagon's worth of coffee when she properly wakes up.
Yes, I'm not quite sure how much dragons normally require.
Oh, I'm just saying for how long she's been asleep.
Oh. That too.
So, you wanted to talk?
I did. I admit I almost thought you were avoiding me. This is the first time we've spoken in a couple of days.
Far from it. I didn't think it was the right time. I wanted to give you some space, given you got hit pretty hard by this whole thing.
Not just me, though. You too. I saw you in that battle, and I apologize. I should have come to you earlier.
It's okay. I'm a bartender. We take it on the chin. I'm fine.
He just kind of stares at him, reading his eyes, looking at him.
You can tell he's not fine. You don't even need to insight check this.
Mm-hmm. Thaddeus.
Yeah?
Come closer.
Is it some kind of trick? He's gonna lean down a little bit.
Once he's close enough, Kloven is going to reach out his hand and cup one hand over his cheek and look into his eyes.
Yes?
Nope. Still the same Thaddeus I know.
Kloven?
Okay.
What is this exactly? What are you doing?
I saw a different side of you in that battle, and I was worried. I've never seen you like that before. Just making sure this is the same Thaddeus I've known, that I've admired. And it still is. If anything, I respect you a bit more.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Hang on, you admire me? Am I hearing that right? Are you sure you aren't drunk?
Doesn't everyone? Oh, it can't be only me, right? The way you care for people, how you got so angry. I admit I was a little shocked at first. But
well, you're right. And the reason I was angry is because I do care about these people. Seeing any of them get taken from us without a thing we could do, I didn't know what else I could do but scream and shoot.
I wish I could have found the words at the time to help you.
You found the actions. That's all I needed.
He'll kind of pull his hand back a little bit. Sit up a little bit straighter. Well, as long as I know you're okay, I feel like I share my emotions more with you than you do with I. You're always there to listen, and I want you to know that I can do the same for you.
I thank you for that. I haven't really had a... No, that's not true. I've had one person I could confide in for a long time, but quite literally, they live under my floorboards. It's the reason why I don't open up very often.
I'm glad you've had someone that you're able to do that to.
If you want to, I'll be more open with you too.
I'd like that very much.
I think it wouldn't be fair to just be a rock for you. You've got a hand to hold here if you need it.
He'll hold out his hand, like put his elbow on the counter and kind of have his hand out.
Thaddeus takes it in a heartbeat. He doesn't even think about it.
All right, then. I'll hold you to that.
Same to you. You've been here my whole life. I feel like it wouldn't be fair to keep secrets from you at this point. Though, on that topic, I'm sorry I didn't come straight to you about the fact that I'm heading out.
Oh. You are going then?
I wouldn't be able to sit here alone and tend the bar and worry about people. It would just eat at me. So yeah, I'm going.
After that show earlier at the battle, I figured as much, so you consider that I, along with Adamar and whoever decides to go, will be joining you then.
Yeah, I still gotta convince SK, but he fights like a demon. He'd be a good asset.
I've certainly seen his work.
Hey, you haven't heard his jokes yet. He's pretty good for conversation, too.
Is he? I
You'd
look
be
forward.
surprised.
I'd be interested to see what someone who lives under your floorboards has to say.
Well,
I'm sure they've heard some very interesting things from you.
to be honest, I don't know where he got some of these things. He talks more eloquently than I do.
Does he?
He does call himself a king. But
I wonder what this king of yours has overheard then.
as far as I'm concerned, probably a whole bunch of snoring and Z's.
Oh.
Pretty tired when you came here before.
Don't bring anyone around then.
No. Unless they're important enough that I can have a quiet conversation with.
Then
Enough
I will
about other people. I wanted to talk to you about this expedition.
Of course, I'm all ears.
For the last few days, I've been weighing on what I wanted to talk to you about. And after I talked to Adamar, I think I've made up my mind. I was going to say that we need someone here to keep track of the town and to keep people safe and to make sure the walls don't break in on us again, and I was going to suggest it be you. But I know you wouldn't want that. I know you wouldn't stand for that. You'd come chasing right after us, no matter whether we had you on the team or not. Am I right?
I think you know me too well, Thaddeus. You're right. I would want... I can't let you all have the fun, right? Not by yourselves.
And why would we ever deprive the life of the party his good times?
He just smiles and takes a sip of his drink.
So, even if Adamar already offered you the spot, let me ask you. Please, come with us.
His smile kind of molds into something a bit softer. Well, I'm glad to be asked. I will. I'll go with you. To however far it goes.
And for the first time in a long time, Kloven is going to get a very warm, beaming smile in return. I don't know how to say this other than you just made my week, Kloven.
Well, hopefully I'll make a bit more. And then some.
Oh god, don't remind me. I don't want to think about how long we're going to be out there.
Well, for all of our sakes, hopefully not that long, but you best make as much preparation as we can.
A cart or some kind of vehicle would be nice, but we'll see what we can dig up.
I'll see who I can coerce. I think I know a few I can maybe borrow.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you. It's nice to see you like this, to see this much resolve. It's beautiful.
I've been saying the same thing about the good you do around here for years. Glad I could live up to expectations.
Well, let's each do our best then and get as much rest as we can.
Will do. And hey, I'll be watching your back. You don't need to worry about it.
Oh, I'd hope you'd watch a little bit more than that, but the back will do.
I was mostly saying I'm a good shot, and you aren't going to get, ambushed while I'm on the job.
Oh, is that what you meant? Oh, of course.
Well, if you read something else into it, who am I to deny you that?
He's just gonna smile. Leave me to my fantasies. It's fine.
I learned a thing or two from the master of the mixed message.
Oh, I've taught you well then. Maybe there's a few more lessons I could teach you.
We'll have plenty of time for that, won't we?
We certainly will. Well then, I won't keep you or sure your friend is getting antsy down there.
Took the words out of my mouth. I won't keep you away from Adamar. I'm sure he's expecting some kind of afternoon report.
Oh, I have much to report to him, it's true. Just prefer it be word of mouth in a paper.
Yeah. That's nice. Well, we've got a seat for you here at the bar whenever we get back, and I'll be happy to serve you again when we do.
I look forward to it. Thank you again, Thaddeus. Good
My
to
pleasure.
talk to you again.
And you too, Kloven. I like it when it's just us.
So do I. He'll gather his things, though, and give a little soft wave before heading out of the bar.
Thaddeus is gonna give a little wave, a little wave in turn, but he like waves his fingers at him in that little kind of fruity way.
And there it goes.
All right. So you go, as this kind of comes to an end, and the regular part of the day begins. SK,
Yes.
you are entering a deep sleep. One that's deeper.
Beauty sleep, yes.
Of course. Not attempting to sleep through the day, the big day that's upcoming. But sleep takes you, and it is so nice. You find yourself more comfortable, more at peace than you have in a long time. As you do, I want to ask first, what's on SK's mind as he's drifting to sleep?
I think his frustrations are beginning to reach a bit of a boiling point. It's not that he doesn't feel like he isn't being heard, but he wishes everyone would see reason and would stop being so damn heroic and optimistic.
As you settle on these thoughts in your sort of void of a dreamscape, that same humming from previous nights, one that you are all too familiar with, begins to find its way into your mind. The feelings proceed to dissipate a bit, enough for you to be able to enter into as deep of a sleep as you can. As you do, the music lulls you to sleep. You feel a set of fingers begin to pry at your eyes, force them open. As the initial panic of this sets in, they open. Light floods in. You are taken aback as you begin to sit up. First thing you notice, the sound of gentle waves crashing against rocks. This dream is familiar, one that you've had many times. As it is familiar, first thing you do is look to the cliffside. See the frame, the middle-aged feminine figure in the distance. You go to them?
Seeing this figure and his surroundings, Sewer King's tight body posture visibly relaxes. And he takes a deep inhale of sea air and very casually goes to meet them.
As you approach, your eyes are drawn to the seemingly raging sea and cracks of soft thunder. The sand of the beach you are all too familiar with, seemingly receding to the assault of each tumultuous wave. As you stare to it, you remember your first memory, washing up on the beach of the shores of the town. As you let this feeling sort of take hold a bit, a voice in your mind whispers, "Your Majesty."
I'm here.
Though the storm and waves drown out much noise, you quickly snap to attention, looking towards the figure that you are approaching. It stays facing away from you as it speaks. Their red curly hair, long flowing white dress, blowing in severe of the storm. Are you happy at the moment?
Ugh. Bit of a complicated question. It would have been an easy one if you had asked me several days ago. But now... No. No, I suppose I'm not.
You wish to stay where you are? Even knowing that he is about to leave you again.
I don't know. I thought I knew what I wanted. That it was paramount to remain safe. That's what you've always done, is keep me safe, and if I can't make him stay, I can't keep him safe.
He was speaking just earlier with him. I believe the phrase was, "I like it when it's just us." He will choose the others over you every time. Just like he pushed back against your excitement. You know this, Your Majesty. I don't want to see you alone again, Your Majesty.
It seems that it doesn't matter then, no matter what I choose.
Do you trust me, Your Majesty?
Of course I do. You've been there for me longer than anyone else. You've never steered me wrong.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. As it speaks this, the figure turns around. You see its face for the first time in this dream. Or rather, what should be its face. Instead, in its place is a white glow, almost like that of a lighthouse coming from underneath the hair. But the light doesn't feel blinding. It feels warm, comforting. The same solemn melody begins to play inside of your head. The figure outreaches its hand to you, beckoning you to take it.
He does so without any hesitation.
As you do, the figure's hand wraps around yours and caresses it softly and gently, like one would to a child. I care for you, Your Majesty. I only want the best for you. You know this, right?
Yes, I do. So what should I do?
I wish you would go with them to see the world, to grow, learn, become stronger. Will you do this for me?
You would have me go where I'm not
would.
wanted.
No, no, Your Majesty. You are always wanted. They will see that. They will know you, know what you are capable of, love you. This I know.
You seem so sure. But you've never given me false guidance before. I share in Thaddeus's optimistic delusions. But I think if I do not go, I think it will never return, and I will always regret it.
They need you. They will not make it without you.
So I must go then. Will we be safe? You and I. Things get a little funny out there.
I will always be there to keep you safe, Your Majesty. As I have done so for all of your life.
It's all I could ever ask.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Please, do not worry. I will be there guiding you each and every day in the right direction. Is there
Thank you.
any more you need from me, Majesty?
What more could I possibly ask for than the love of one's mother? And he'll give her hand, the top of her hand, a little kiss.
Rest, my child. As you close your eyes, the waves crash and rock you to a deeper sleep. You rest. Rest. Gain strength. Find peace. That's where that scene ends. Satisfied?
Very.
All right. Then we shall move on to our final scene of the night. I believe, Tate, this one is yours.
I have risen.
I apologize for keeping you out of the limelight for so
What?
long, but
I looked at that itinerary. I was like, yeah, great. I get to yeah for as long as I want now. There's no rush. Hell yeah, sister. All right. So I imagine the way this would start is Kloven would tell Tate that my like the food. Tate would tell his mom, and his mom would be like, well, you have to take more now. So now Tate, begrudgingly pushed by his sister and mother, would be entering the tree, assuming giving permission by Carol and like other people who were watching over it to like come in with this like cart of food that his mom made because Maya is so much bigger now.
Maya is sleeping outside of the tree, to be clear.
Okay, gotcha. Apologies.
You're good.
Yeah, Maya's still asleep right now, yeah?
What time are you coming by?
I would assume this would be late evening, like dinner time, or possibly even after most people have had their dinner. It's like 8 o'clock, possibly.
I imagine as you find her, her eyes are closed, but you can see that she is kind of shuffling about.
I'm gonna say Tate. The player doesn't choose that Tate believes that she's sleeping as he approaches, so he'll just start talking, assuming she slept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kloven mentioned that you were up and about, but I guess I missed out on that too, huh? It's a shame what happened had to happen. You were my first friend. Ever. He just like wheels the food up and just sits on the ground in front of Mai. Ma asked me to, bring you more since it seemed like you liked her cooking, same as you did before. I don't know if you want more, less, I don't know how much you eat, but whatever changes need to be made, let us know, alright? And don't worry too much about the kids' education. Mom's taking over that. Even though some people are calling her strict, that's just her Karen, but, disagreements will be had. But, yeah. I know it's weird to say this while you're sleeping, and you're still here technically, but I miss you.
Chill. You see her, and just given her size, you can sort of hear the eyelids slowly open. She'll just speak up. I miss you too, Tate.
Oh, so you really are awake, huh?
Just stirring.
Is this a bad time? I can see you tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere.
No, this is a perfect time.
Yeah.
I feel as though I owe your mother a great debt, considering all she is doing on my behalf.
My family loves you, right? Like, basically a planner in that regard. Don't consider it a debt, alright? My mom appreciates you, especially the way you work with kids. She isn't gonna let this get in the way of that.
You're right. Thank you. Are you planning on joining the expedition?
What? I figured, I know you've been busy and asleep, but like nothing's changed out here. I'm still just Tate. No, I'm not gonna be gone. I'll be staying in town, running errands. I'll come by and visit you, of course. I know I'm thinking everyone like Kloven and Thaddeus are leaving, you'll get lonely, so. Can't promise there'll be good convo, but, I'm bringing more of my mom's cooking.
She'll kind of move her head and just very softly place the edge of her mouth, or snout, I guess you would call it, just on your shoulder.
Tate is going to blush at that in like a he doesn't know how to take it sort of way. And then he'll should he he's debating raising his arms up to I don't know, hug her back. He doesn't know how to read this. He's never interacted with a dragon before. Is this a hug or, those are awful blush. They also made me blush awful too before.
I can't say I know how to convey care in this state, but I think at the very least, I wanted to say that you are far stronger than you give yourself credit for.
I appreciate the vote. He's holding her back now, but also kind of gently pushing back against the snout out there talking. Just I get that. Don't you worry. I know I'm plenty strong. I carried you and hoofed you across an entire street. I could probably still do it if you give me the chance, but the kind of strength that's needed out there, the fighting, that's just not me.
She'll lift her head up off of your shoulder, seeing just generally your reaction.
He looks up at Mai with this sense of awe at just her figure, this being that she is, but none of it, the supposed fear, the surprise, none of it is overcoming this sense of adoration that he's always had looking at her, this sense of admiration for her work and her as a person, that never has gone away.
If I might, I don't know the best way to talk through this, but you, though your strength may not come necessarily from combat, you have the makings of a leader inside of you. Do you know that much at least?
Yeah, I can do some managing stuff. I gotta for when Dad, eventually fully retires, if he'll ever let himself. But I do not see myself telling Thaddeus of all people what to do. And SK, well, that man's got a mind of his own, heart of his own. And Kloven, well, it's a wonder he listens to Adamar at all. And whoever else is going. Are you really trying to say that I should go?
I think it's ultimately your decision, but I think it could use the ingenuity of.
I mean, ingenuity is one thing, but you've known me, well, you've known me for most of my life. You helped take me out of that shell, and you've seen the kind of man I've grown up to become, and I need to know am I really, everything you've seen and experienced with me, am I really that kind of guy that'll last more than a day out there? My dad's told me about his journeys out there, I know some people look at that mist starry-eyed like it's the night sky in our books, but I know what's out there, and I know what I can do. And what I can do is far better put in the soil than out there.
He looks to the side, to her left. As she does so, her eyes are kind of like lidded a little low. Okay. Understand. You know yourself best.
Sorry to disappoint you, Mai.
You've never disappointed me, Tate.
Thanks for saying that.
Come here. She'll kind of lean her head down and basically just at the head level to a bit of a head nuzzle.
He'll grab her head back and kind of sniffle in response to this gesture. Damn, I thought I worked that out of my system.
As you nuzzle her fur, your head touches the small marking on her forehead. You get a flash. A flash of you riding some sort of two-wheeled vehicle going off into the mist, leaving through monstrosities. Look younger. No beard, but a smile and a determined expression.
He kind of shakes back in response and lets go for a moment, stepping backward, and what was that?
What was what?
When my head touched that crystal on your head, I saw something. I saw me, but different. Like, it wasn't quite me.
Wasn't. There's no ripple in this vicinity.
Ripple.
Please, describe it.
I saw me, but I was younger. I didn't have my beard yet. So it must have been way younger. I was dressed in my dad's old leathers. I had a pair of goggles, a scarf, a fishing rod. And I was out there fighting, and I just... Ma, does that ring any bells to you, what I just saw? Is there something you're not telling me?
She glances to the side and all I can say is what you're describing is you, in a way.
His head is like kind of trying to rack it, trying to come up with some explanation, but this is 10 intelligence, Tate. He's got no idea what kind of conclusions to draw, and just looks at mine and goes, "Did you have this in your head after you transformed, or?"
She kind of glances side to side, unsure of what to do.
You can be honest with me, Mai. I'm not... If this is a secret, if you know other things that people shouldn't know, I can keep quiet, okay? It ain't like hiding from Adamar, but I can stay quiet, I guess, but... I have to know, Mai, did you have thoughts like this on everyone? For all this time?
Yes.
So, when you saw me, when you reached out that first time and invited me to Thaddeus's bar, and every time you saw me on our morning exchanges, was it this me that you wanted to see?
No. Well, it's complicated.
It always is, huh?
I've wanted, all I've ever wanted, is your safety and happiness.
But here you are telling me to go out into the mist, and after seeing all that, I just can't stop thinking that I needed to be somebody else for you. For everyone. I can't stop thinking that, and I'm sorry, Mai. I know you're not that kind of person. Just some scary thoughts in my head that I know shouldn't be there, but they're there.
Tate?
Yes?
Sorry. Think I may have messed some things up.
He's gonna walk forward now towards one of her paws, claws, whatever you want to call them, and sort of grasp one of her fingers with them and goes, I know when I got overwhelmed before, socially, and I started to shut down, you would grab my hand just like this to anchor me down. I've never had to do it for you. You're really well put together, but after everything you've been through and then this, I'm letting you know it's okay, right? Whatever you know or knew or had to hide because you didn't know if it would be safe or not to tell us, I want you to know that's okay. Okay? You didn't mess up, alright? If I saw that, then maybe I should have. The others haven't seen it yet, maybe they will, or maybe they don't need to, but it's alright, Mai. I'm not gonna blame you or anything, I'm just scared. I was supposed to be someone else from the looks of it. To be someone else. I mean, look at me, you know? But you don't have to take the fault for that. I don't know whatever happened to this other version of me. I don't know if you should tell me, but I want you to know that it's okay. I'm sure if you tell the others, if you desire to, it'll be okay with them too. But I'm not that guy you see in there. I'm not the guy who gallivants off into the mist, leading others. I'm the me that plants and grows crops and moves stuff. And, you know, at first when I was growing up, I didn't have a problem with it, but my family supported me, and then I met you, and I grew content with myself like that. I was happy just being Tate. Not as magical as a planter as I could be, but I was happy, especially after meeting you. That joy isn't going to be any less just because I know there's a better version of me out there, at least for mistraveling.
She has been crying most of this speech.
She's been what?
Crying. It's not a better version. It's just different.
He sees her tears and then lets go of her hand and sort of raises his arms out while kind of looking sadly away and just says, I don't know if you want to call what we did earlier a hug, but we can do it again if you'd like.
She'll nod before leaning in, just give a little, as much of a hug as she can give.
You don't have to hold back, you know. Like you said, I'm a lot stronger than I thought I think I am, alright? I'm still pretty damn sure I could at least lift you up an inch. Maybe.
She giggles a little bit. Well, I can't, and I won't force you to anything. But you choose to try and be more, have your back.
No, you've always had my back. But yes, go ahead.
She'll kind of give her head a little shake back and forth. As she does, there's like a small scale that comes off. She just kind of reaches down, pinches it, and grabs it and holds it in a little bit of her, like basically with what is her palm, the dragon. Just says, you find yourself wanting to do more. This will help.
I remember you reading stories to kids about princesses who'd give knights a lock of their hair, but this is You sure you don't want to give this to your brother or something?
No,
I'm grateful, but
it's always been meant for you.
Wow, okay. I don't know what I'll do with this, but thank you. I'll take care of it.
I know you will. There's one thing we can trust you to do. It's to make things grow.
Right. Well, yeah, it's getting late. I should, since wiping his eyes a little bit, I should go. I can come pick up the cart again tomorrow. Is this enough food for you? I can get more if you need it.
Done more than enough, Tate Plantar.
I'll never stop doing enough for you.
You can see she kind of gives a stretch. She does. Faint crackle. Magic can be seen kind of flitting through the air. She looks at you. You can see just the slightest hint of a smile. She looks to you. Get some rest. Regardless of your decision, you'll need it.
Nod and sort of watch as she dozes off before leaving himself. Tate, before coming to see her, definitely would have showered and dressed nicer to his sister's demands, so he would have, like, nicer things, and he would pull out this, like, nicer little knapsack that he keeps, more velvety, and just gently put the scale inside before pocketing it and making his way back home. Which, I think I'm ready for that next scene now, DM, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I imagine this is like well after dinner, it's more middle of the night-ish. Tate's in the kitchen, and he's not expecting SK or anything. He hopefully SK knows to give the warning after Tate says so. But he's in the kitchen now, middle of the night with the candle, just taking that scale out and twirling it in his hands. And I'd imagine at some point his father would come down to see why is his son still up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something keeping you?
Oh, sorry if I'm keeping you a mon up. I'm just thinking, is all.
That's alright, we can think all we want. I know the other night we heard a bit of a rattling down here. I don't know, I guess I want to make sure it wasn't some crater gotten.
I was just, keeping an eye out for rats. Just, making sure they didn't eat too much. Not going around stomping them or anything.
Good to keep an eye out
Right.
for them. Those things can really take a lot of food.
I don't know. Maybe we could see about, feeding and caring for them. I'm not saying domesticate them. How'd they take to that? But they're pretty smart creatures, right?
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's not what I'm up about. Listen, Dad, when you were younger, like my age or younger, you went gallivanting out in those mists, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Bit of a wild time out there. Did
I
good
don't
things.
know if... Like what, Dad?
A vehicle you drive?
Yeah?
Wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for what we found out there.
Oh, I always figured you and Ashlyn made that, but... Huh. I
Well,
guess it makes sense. There's a lot of trash out there. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Ashlyn did help. That is true. But schematics, the patterns, some of the parts, they came from out there, not in here. I'm not smart enough to put something like that together by myself.
Don't give yourself that discredit, Dad.
Oh no,
That
I
was
ain't giving
kinda-
myself none of that discredit. It's just that putting the ideas together, that's some mighty fine witchcraft.
I suppose so. Listen, back before you gallivanted, you were with Ma, right? I mean, you didn't have me or sis yet, but you had her in your own family, right?
That's right.
How did you decide to go? Like, why did you go out there when you had all this at home to take care of? Like, were you not content with what you had back home?
I wouldn't say it was nothing about being content or not. Back then, I think we at least still held on to a little bit of that hope that we'd be able to find others. Save them. Well, figure out what the hell's going on. And, well, granted, we didn't. We didn't figure out what the hell was going on, but we did find a few people. And none of them made it in the end, but there was value in trying.
Just hope, huh? Yeah.
I think hope was a big part of it. I think some good old youthful curiosity. But no, it's fair to say that finding hope was worth a lot. Now, I want to make one thing clear. As soon as she was pregnant, I stopped. Couldn't risk it. But me, Jillian, and Hunter, we did a lot of good work out there. A lot of what we got here nowadays is because of us. The things that we found.
You wouldn't go back out there for anything, right? Now that you got Ma, Sis, and me?
Have you seen how old I am? Hell no, I ain't going back out there.
No, Dad. You surprise me some days, but...
Hey, I'm still real strong, but that whole hell of a mist, that is some other shit.
Dad, listen, I want to ask you about something, but I want to preface this by saying that, like, I'm not ashamed of myself, alright? I know it's a lot to accept that, well, this is my peak, at least for now, and I know you married into the Plantar family, and you saw that I was feeling doubtful, and I'm just saying that I know that I'm enough, but for my whole life, I felt like something was wrong. Like something was missing, or I wasn't quite right. Like, not just because of my lack of talent. I just felt like I was moving, blinded, sleeping at the wheel, and just... I finally seen a glimpse of something else. that something that says that voice in my head has been right this whole time, that things have not been quite right, and that something different should have happened, and I don't know what to do, Pa.
Kind of sits there for a moment and thinks about it. Well, never too late to discover more about yourself. Now, I may be old. I know the saying is you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But if it's something that you think can make your life better, something to help you feel more alive, well, that's something that's always worth looking into. I know there's been folks here in the stocks that feel like something's been wrong. That person they were born as don't quite match up to who they see inside themselves, or who they want to see inside themselves. And those people deserve to figure it out. Just as you deserve to figure it out. Do you think you're gonna go with them?
I don't know, Deb. Part of me still kind of wants to be anesthetized by this life I've been living. I don't know.
You know, you happy?
I am, but
something's missing.
yeah, something's missing.
You better go find it.
Whether it's in here or out there, Dad, I know I will, okay? Now, you ought to go back to bed before Ma wakes up. She is the crankiest that's been on this late at night, alright?
I'll kind of walk over to you first, just nodding. Just kind of shaking his head a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Listen. We never stop growing. Us planters, we never stop. You got this, kid.
Assuming they'll hug for a short bit before Dad goes back upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You got this, huh? I imagine Tate will eventually try to go to sleep, but he just can't. A few hours pass, and it's really late now, 4 or 5 a.m., and he'll head on up to one of the higher windows in the attic and crawl out of it to stand on the roof tiling, to just look out at the city, at the stocks, at the flickering lights coming on as people prepare for their days to start. And then he'll look down at that scale he's been carrying and holding tightly in his hand this whole time. It's not drenched with sweat, but it's been held for a while. I like to imagine from like a cinematic point of view, the camera's like behind him, and as it pans across Tate, that city skyline, that the skyline view of the stocks changes as it goes across Tate. And instead, there's just that two-wheeled machine and the younger Tate sitting on it, that alternate Tate. And older Tate stands up and walks towards him. What can I say to you? I still remember what it's like to have dreams. The way we idolized those stories. All that it meant, and all that it did not. A tale of adventure, of valor, of courage. Of pain, of suffering, of destruction as he looks back and thinks back to how the city was destroyed when the attack happened. I've been told by others, less kind, that I chase a glory that I know I can never deserve. What does that make me? A man who fools himself? A man who... He stops himself and looks down at the scale, at my hopes, when all else is lost. Hope. You lost everything and everyone. You became this lost possibility, this unfortunate end. And there is no saving you for that, no forgiving you. You chose. I chose. So what now? Should I, this same man, should I go, explore, lead, proclaim, adventure? Adventure, as he looks back down at the scale again. Should I lose everything and everyone? Will there still be enough left so that I do not become you? I don't know. But he's like holding the scale more tightly here. I have hope. We're needy and weak and selfish. But you are more than that. You have always been more than what others saw. You are more than that. At this point, that younger Tate is gone, and all that is left is that seat. And he'll walk, and he'll go to it and sit in it, and the shadows will fade back to that rooftop as he stands up, holding that scale. And with a newfound resolution, he opens his mouth and drops the scale into him. And as the sun rises and the morning birds fly up, all you see is this silhouette of a confidently standing Tate against the rising sunlight. And, yeah, that's all I got.
And
that's all I got written.
There's a voice that you hear, your own voice. It says, "What do we do when all is lost? We grow."
We hope. Grow. Shit.
As the sun rises on this day of the expedition, close session here.
God damn, Sif! What the fuck?
Oh my
Bring the
god!
fucking house down, man! Oh man!
Jesus Christ.
We don't have time for a Tate glow up arc. It's happening now. No time for growth. It's happening.
Everyone pack it up. We're going home. Like,
Yes. Jeez.
Damn. Applause to you, sir.
I gotta pull it out every once and again. You guys are such amazing role players. I gotta step up to the bat.
Oh, please.
Oh, please!
Come on, that was insane.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Lily. It was so good.
I'm glad. That was by far the part that I was most nervous about.
It was so good. Even if we messed up, it would have been amazing, Lily. Like straight up. Everything with my my heart. Thank you, DM. She's so cool.
Of course. Thank you guys.
We're all very well-adjusted individuals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're normal human beings.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
A trace
so
of the
fine.
a trace of the true self can be found in our creations. So, Lily, when are you going to talk about that cuff comment?
Hey.
Oh my god.
I had to infuse a little bit of a trans allegory into it, given the source material that you gave me. For
Oh, yeah, what the fucking... I want that to have a trans allegory in it. Tate literally taking what could be seen as a allegory for tea. I'm just saying.
Let's go.
I'm just saying, his name is literally half T.
Alright, gang. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up here so we can get this recording finished up. So, thank you guys so much for playing. This was a lot of fun, a lot of good drama, a lot of good saucy back and forth, and a lot of good emotions. So, hope you all had fun, and I think we will see you all next time.
Sounds good. Thank you, DM.
Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.